Okie dokie, we are live. Hello, everybody. Everyone there. Are you all in the chat? I can see everybody in the chat. This is JCK here. We've got about a 10-second delay, Thomas, so we'll be able to see that soon on YouTube. And I'm so excited, everybody, because I finally get to have my beautiful, beautiful soul brother, Tomaz, who I love dearly, and I just is the most gentle, beautiful soul, but so wise. And I often go to Tomaz for advice, and the spiritual advice that he gives is always so profound, and he has a wealth of knowledge, and I just adore him, and this is why I wanted him to come on. And the great thing is that Tomaz has a wonderful course, and everybody, since I started this channel, has been going on and on and on. They want to learn how to meditate. They want a spiritual course that is going to be able to help them on a journey to find out more about themselves. And Tomaz is here today. We've got a Q&A with Tomaz, and we're also going to do our own live meditation. And we're going to learn so much in this short amount of time. We're going to learn so much about his wonderful work and his Awakening Alchemy course. So all the links are going to be are in the description below, and I will also add it as a pinned comment in the comment section after this video goes to air. So Tomaz Mueller, can you tell us all about you? My daughter's coming on. You better go away.
That's nice. Hi, JC. Wow, what a journey. Believe it or not, just on the dot at 8 o'clock this morning, we had a power cut. On the dot at 8 o'clock. So I ran down to the kitchen, look for Dan. Dan, we have got a power cut. What are we going to do? So anyway, we figured out we have got the backup plan just before we start. So in case the power goes off again, let's see, but it will all be fine. So thank you so much, JC, for having me on. And when I think about you, it's like this beam of light that shines with such a strength that can break the toughest rock and allow basically for everybody to bring their essence, to let their light shine. And this is what is so much needed. And what I love about you is you're totally down to earth. I fell in love with you in September 2020 when I was driving on the motorway with my friend Edina. And since then, I'm so grateful for the journey that we have had. But today, we're going to talk about meditation.
I'm so glad you're finally doing it. I'm so glad you're the one who's really going to take the audience on a journey. So many ask about how do we meditate? And you've got a course that's going to not just teach the basics of meditation. It's a whole journey, isn't it? It's an entire spiritual awakening and working with the shadow self, which is quite often what we need when we're, people ask, why do we meditate? So maybe you can answer that. Why do we meditate?
Okay, first of all, let me be very direct and frank. Meditation is no longer something that we might consider doing when we have time. Meditation is no longer something that, oh yeah, it's the luxury of tomorrow. No, it is no longer a novelty, and everybody has to find a meditation practice. So let's just really set this clear, because whatever we have gone through in the last couple of years, it is important for us to find a way of neutralizing those experiences and those energies and filter them through. So the best way of how I like to describe it is, okay, let's have a look at this beautiful piece of shungite, okay? So if you think about a nervous system that is not able to transcend, to clear any of the experiences, be it sensory overload through sound, visuals, violent images, or whatever that might be. This is like taking a nail and scratching it into the rock. Yeah, that is an impression that is left on the nervous system. Yes, we might have ways to cope with it, but what meditation does, and there are various practices of meditation, it slowly allows those experiences to maybe become a line that is scratched in soft wood, maybe a line that is scratched in earth, in water, in air. Basically, it allows us to go through the experience without leaving any stains or marks. That sort of really is the purpose, one of the many purposes of meditation. But it also helps in the development of higher states of consciousness, higher states of awareness. Because through meditation, we start refining our sensory perception. And also another important point to say is there's no right or wrong way of meditation. But I want to say something is we need to be patient with ourselves. Sometimes we try to run before we can walk. So easing ourselves into meditation is probably the best way to do. And the other myth around meditation is that we need to stop thinking. We need to stop thinking. I can't think. I need to sit still and straight, and I can't move, and all of those preconceived ideas. Yes, that might be a practice that you may explore along the lines, but it doesn't mean that it has to be, and this is the right way, and this is the only way. And JC, you know myself for a while now. We both don't believe in the right way
No.
or in the only way.
Yeah. And even my own experience of meditation, because I've been meditating for decades, really, and I change it up all the time, you know. And sometimes you can do a meditative practice in walking, like a walking or active meditation. And really, it's not about stilling the mind necessarily or stopping thought. That is something that they might practice in like an ashram to really try to get to that point. And you've lived in an ashram before, so you can probably tell us about that experience. But really, it's allowing those thoughts to come through the mind and just sitting with that, right? Like clouds passing through the sky. You don't, without judgment, allowing the thoughts to pass through. Yeah,
Yes.
that's one of the things we can
That's
do.
one of the many contributes. I mean, of course, nowadays there's so much of backup information about the benefits of meditation, and just maybe mentioning one of it, if you practice a certain type of meditation for about 4 to 6 weeks, it is shown that your biological age starts to reverse. So it's a way of lengthening your telomeres again, which are those little caps at the end of our DNA strands, which give us a parameter or an indicator of our actual biological age. So practicing certain meditations will help reduce our biological age. And of course, that's only one of the many benefits of meditation.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I did a meditation just before we started to clear up everything. Like I actually could, I know that's not really a meditation, but it kind of is, you know. I basically surrendered the interview and sort of asked for clearing, you know, for any obstacles to be cleared before we began, and you were fine. And now we're okay. And I know there's that big storm, and that's, you know, made the power cut and things like that. So what do you? So I'm going to ask in the chat, because there's people here in the chat watching now. I want to know if everyone's there. Say hello to me and do a little chat. They're all sort of a bit quiet and just listening. I hope it's all up to date there. If you guys can tell us if some of you have been doing any meditation on a regular basis, tell us in the chat, and what benefits that you feel that you've found. But it's not just meditation, is it? This course, can you tell us a bit about, well, actually, I didn't even introduce what you do and your background and your expertise and the experiences, the multitude of experiences. It's like you've lived 5 lifetimes in one. And you've got, yeah, you've just got this long list of things that you can bring to the table for the people who do the course with you. Tell us about, very quickly, about what brought you to this practice, or what your background is, so that everybody knows, because you're so, there's just so much there, and I know that some of the practices you do, it's quite unusual for a white man in Europe to be doing.
Yes.
shamanic sort of practices, yeah?
Yes.
So could you tell us a bit about all of that, and what you're doing and what you're offering?
Okay.
What you bring to the table?
So basically, I started off meditating because I had stage fright. So each time when I went onto stage, I had diarrhea around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And my main reason was really to deal with stress. I had no idea that when I went on the journey of meditating, and we are talking, I was about 18, 19 years old. And since then, the journey has unfolded. And yes, I did spend 10 years in an ashram. But the key element of the last 2 years is that meditation has been a way for me to access information from deep within. And you keep on saying this all the time to your audiences. It's like, go within, filter the information, and try to understand what works for you and what doesn't work for you, what is right for you and what is not right for you. And this is how a lot of the information has percolated, the way of how I changed to practice as an Ayurvedic professional, because my main training has been in Ayurveda, traditional Indian medicine, for many, many years. But it is when we allow ourselves to expand our awareness through the senses that information and knowledge starts to percolate through the surface. Yes, initiations have happened in the jungle of Peru in terms of some of the shamanic work that I have done, but I couldn't travel in the last years, as probably nobody or many or only little few of us did. So I had to sit with trying to find ways of continuing my spiritual journey and my spiritual path within the limitations that were available. And this is when we dive into consciousness, when we dive into our own awareness, if we dive into our soul connection, into our oversoul link, and that knowledge that is there, it all will unfold and has actually unfolded. I don't know if I answered the question.
The oversoul is, yes, I like that. This is really, that's the key. And so people are so confused, and they're always trying to figure out how do you get the answers from meditation? What's the point of it? And really what you're tapping into is exactly what you said, that oversoul that has all the knowledge of everything, and you're quietening, or you're removing the layers. Is that what you would say when you're doing that meditation, and just allowing the stillness enough to receive the answers?
Yes.
And continue,
Yeah,
because I was about to say.
basically, maybe it's good to just explain a little bit the method. So the method that I use is the 5-body alchemy method, which is based on the ancient principles of Ayurveda. So it is coming from the understanding that everything in creation comes because of the combination of the 5 elements of space, air, fire, water, and earth. These 5 elements are linked to the 5 denser levels of our being. I like to use the word denser rather than and that means the earth element is linked to our physical body, the water element, the emotional body, fire is the energetic body, the mind and the mental body, which is air, and then what I like to call the awareness body is space. So naturally, we have a tendency to perceive our environment utilizing one or two of those channels. But when we talk about well-being, we very often focus just on the physical well-being. We focus on, okay, I need to do a detox for the liver, or I need to do a gallbladder flush or colon cleanse, or I need to start losing some weight. But we cannot lose weight if we carry that weight in our mind, and I use the term of mental obesity. So basically, unless we get rid of mental obesity, our physical weight will not drop. So what that means is, depending on which body we use, for example, if you're very much in your emotional body, you keep hearing people say, oh, I feel tired, I feel this. If people are more in their mental body, it's about, oh, I think I have to do this. I think this is the problem. I think I'm in pain. If you are in your awareness or consciousness body, the language you more often use is, I sense. I sense that there is something wrong. So this is how you basically
I do a bit
layer.
of three. I do all three.
We all, and this is a sign of balance. What I wanted to say, JC, is we should be able, no, should, it's a hard word, but
Yeah.
if you think about balance, is we are using those languages, those 5 bodies interchangeably at a particular given moment in time. There's not one element that is more dominant. It's about
Yeah.
how do we use language? What do we speak? How do we speak and communicate to ourselves? And that might change. If I'm emotionally stressed, yes, I feel that I'm stressed. And in fact, one of the techniques that I will be teaching in the course is the OBC technique, which deals with mental obesity. So
Oh, I
obese,
think I should do the course. OBC
the O
technique.
stands for observation, which basically means is, if we look outside and it rains, we cannot pretend the sun shines. I
Mm,
don't necessarily believe in positive thinking. I
mm,
don't believe it because it, in many ways, causes so much physical stress if we miss one crucial element. And that crucial element is, before we switch from negative thoughts into positive thoughts, we need to acknowledge what we feel, how we are, and then we get into a neutral space. We need to raise our awareness so that basically um, we need to raise our frequencies so the healing can happen. And then
mm.
we can use the language of positive affirmations.
Wow. Okay. This might be that. So that's like kind of the missing element in a lot of the things we've been taught. Because I remember back in the 90s when I used to have Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. I was just sitting there saying the affirmations over and over and over again. And I was feeling like shit and going, there's golden opportunities all around me. There's golden opportunities all around me. But like, you're not matching the frequency. This is what you're saying basically.
Yes.
So what we're going to do, does anyone have any questions in the chat? Someone did ask, hi Jackie, how are you? Someone did ask the question,
Yep.
Is it bad if you do all 3? And we just answered that with the sensing, feeling.
Yeah.
No.
No, we actually, a balanced being is using all the 5 senses in a balanced and harmonious way. It's not about, see, in fact, Ayurveda has a definition which is called disease occurs, so somebody falls sick, if there is either an overuse, an underuse, or a misuse of sensory perception.
Wow.
So if, for example, you are watch too much of violent movies, it's an overuse of the sense of sight. If you listen to too much destructive sound, it is an overuse of the sense of hearing. Or if you don't use the senses at all, this is one of the main causes of disease. So it is about bringing in the balance, and the course will teach awareness practices. I got sort of the intuitive knowledge that we will also tap into pulse analysis. So because pulse analysis is a way of self-referring connection without necessarily needing to understand what is going on, there's a certain technique that you naturally can link back again to yourself to enhance the body's own self-repair mechanism.
Right. I've got a naughty kid here who keeps trying to come back on the camera. So I'm going to let you take over. If you can tell everyone how many weeks is the course and
Yeah.
how do they sign up? I'm just going to see what's wrong with her. because she
Okay,
keeps
no
trying to
problem.
come on the camera.
No problem. Thank you, JC. So basically, it's going to be a 6 weeks course, and it will be a live event. We stream it on Monday night at 7:30 UK time. And the importance is that we start to explore various types of meditations. And depending on where you are on your journey, even if you have already quite a deep meditation practice, it will help you to explore different avenues of meditation. So JC was talking about walking meditations. Yes, we will do that. But also I will layer it with some of the Ayurvedic self-help tools. For example, we talk about ideal Ayurvedic morning routine and morning practice. And I may invite you to do certain, hi, it's good you're back. You okay?
I had an interview this morning with Campbell, who's in the chat as well. And she kept trying to come on the camera. So yes, we've had one of those days. Yeah, it's all good, all good.
So I
This
was
is real
just
life.
saying a little bit about the content of the course. So I will also go into very specific practices to support detoxification, because we all are very much on a constant detox journey, not just
Yes.
on a physical level, but on an emotional, mental level. What mudras are we going to use to help to detoxify the body?
I was going to ask you the mudras, as in the different hand gestures, yeah?
Yes. So, for example, I did explain it yesterday on Mark's show, but let's just bring it back up again. There's one very good mudra that you can use to detoxify. You basically separate your middle finger with your ring finger, and then
So
you
Mr.
place
Spock.
your thumb in the gap, and you place your hands on your lap. In fact, let's just do this for a second.
Okay.
Just
So Mr.
go
Spock
to the
was
position.
constantly detoxifying his body.
Yeah, just to go back in, separate the two, place your thumb gently in, turn your palms around and place them in your lap, and just sit with it for a few breaths. So take a deep breath in. As you breathe in, you just imagine the energy being drawn into your body from the tips of your fingers. And as you breathe out, you release. So the fingertips are very sensitive points. And in fact, if we would have a Kirlian photography, a Kirlian camera, we can see the energy emanating from the tips of our fingers. And using mudras or finger positions, we redirect the energy back into our bodies, not just the physical body, to achieve a particular purpose.
Very interesting.
So you can start feeling like a swishing, like a circle. And the way I feel it, it goes into the lower part of the body, the excretory organs, trying to release and trying to let go of the
And
energy.
also, does it work on like a kidney thing as well? I feel
Yes.
like that. Yeah, that's what I was feeling in me. It was like awareness of kidney. Must be a kidney meridian or something like that. You know, I'm just speaking about mudras, and I was going to ask you this. I intuitively did this mudra the other day, and I was like, where the hell did that come from? And I don't even know if it's a real thing, but it was kind of like that. I don't know if I can show you. It's like that.
Okay. Yes.
And is that something? Or
Okay.
am I just making it up?
No.
Because to me, it felt like a kind of a Merkaba thing going on.
It is actually, you are naturally tapping into the Merkaba energy. And this is also interestingly, I
did it when I was astral journeying, so I was
yes.
kind of like, yeah. And I was like,
And
why do I feel like I want to do that?
see, this is the beauty, JC, when we tap into a neutral space, we open up to receiving all this information. In essence, I'm not going to tell anything new because everything has been around and everybody knows everything anyway. But it's just helping maybe to trigger the memory. So what you have done here is you have gone on a journey. You let go of your, let's say, 5 immediate layers: the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and energetic body. And for people who are visual, just imagine you just straighten out your arms so your energetic field goes from fingertips to fingertips. That's the auric field, the immediate energy field, and all the bodies, they sit in between. So, of course, when we align those 5 elemental bodies, we have a natural lift to our higher self, to our soul self, to our cosmic families. But it is about clearing the energies in those, it's not necessarily denser realms, but in those realms that are closest to us in our energy field. And we can go all bonkers about it. We can just say, oh, how many layers are there? There are 12 layers, 24 layers, 108 layers. You know what? Yes, this is wonderful, but we can get so much in our mind that we're thinking, oh my God, I don't know anything. It's just about tapping into where are you at this point in time and embracing it.
So what you're doing is so you've taken all of that work out. It's not about following a textbook. You've already got all of that. You already know all of these things from your experiences. And now would you say that your course is more of an intuitive approach and you're facilitating them in order to access these parts of themselves with some tips and things like that, and you're going to be able to get them to go on this journey? What about people? Sorry, I was just going to say, what about people who see? I find I do everything intuitively. Everything. I don't. I mean, I've read so much in my lifetime. Like I sort of absorb information, but then I just do everything intuitively. And so I find the things like deep meditations and astral journeys extremely easy, and I get into that space like that. Would you say that if somebody did a practice with you and started the course, for example, that they could start exercising this part of their brain that sort of helps them to let go much, much easier to? Is that what happens over time?
Absolutely. That's when we start to clear the various layers of
Oh, Thomas, come back. Thomas is frozen. Dan, there. Thomas is frozen. I think something happened. I hope I'm still live. Yes, I am. Oh, this might be the power cut that was happening. Let's see. I'll wait for them to come back on. Yes, they seem to be frozen. Sorry about that. Yeah, power cut. Okay. What a shame. We've got up to that point. If we can get, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to quickly message Thomas. So how about that in the chat? If you guys want to, okay, so he's going to log into a different device, and I'll just take over in the meantime while he logs on. And then once he does, we're going to take some questions while you guys are all waiting for Thomas to come back on. So if any of you have questions, first of all, he'll be back. Yep, we're all good. And so if anyone has any questions about the course, or if you want to know how to join his course, so it's called Awakening Alchemy. And this is all the links are in the description of the YouTube video below if you want to have a look at that. I'm going to wait and see if we can. So once he gets in there, let's have a look if there's anyone. Private chat. Here we go. There we go. I'm just going to have a look and see if there's any other people. Nope. Waiting. All right, we'll wait and see if he can log into his other device, and then once we get that, that's all good. We'll get that up and running. So in the meantime, everybody, we're going to be doing a meditation once Tomaz comes back on. There he is.
Hello, I'm now just on my iPad.
That's okay. It's good lighting.
Streaming through the iPad.
That's good because we want to do meditation. No, that's okay. We want to do a meditation with you. So Tomaz, I've got the. Let me just see if I can do a share screen. I want to try and get. Bear with me.
Yep.
Because what I want to do while I have you here is I want to try and show everyone the Awakening Alchemy. Here we go. Share. Share screen. Now, always get mixed up. There we go. A Chrome tab. There we go. That's it. Right, here we go. Let's have a look at the Awakening Alchemy. Can you all see that? So in the links below, you'll see a link for the course, and this will allow you to enroll Awakening Alchemy. Tomaz, are we doing anything with Kundalini? We've got the snake here. Is there anything that's going to be activated in the people doing the course, or is this just a beautiful symbol that you've got here?
No, of course, it's not just a beautiful symbol, but I like your audience. I like to suggest your audience getting into a frame of mind not to label the experiences. Okay, great. Is this Kundalini awakening? Is this? Because that will be in the way in many times for us to actually transcend and for us to actually let go and let the experience take over. We cannot force any spiritual experience.
Yeah, so basically get out of your head, stop thinking of dogmatic things. I have that all the time. Every time I do a video, there's always someone going, you didn't do it right. You got to do it this way. My guru said this, or my spiritual teacher said that. Well, I don't really follow those things. We've got to get out of our own way, especially if we're doing things that are based on intuition. So, Tomaz wrote, so this course is for you if you are on a journey toward improved health and well-being, you wish to break old habits. Yes, hello there. You would like to become the best version of yourself. You are longing for a calmer state of mind and inner peace. You are looking for ways to stop repetitive thought patterns. That's a lot of people get into that spiral into the negativity, and especially with what's going on in the world right now, they're doing a lot of that. You want to reduce feelings of stress, anxiety, and depression. You wish to clear stagnant energies and improve your quality of sleep. You have tried to meditate but failed. You find it difficult to be in the present moment. You wish to go deeper in your meditation. So there's so much. So please, and this begins on the 21st of February, Monday. So this is UK time. So 7:30 p.m. UK time will be, I think it's 8:30 a.m. Is that 8:30 a.m. Sydney time? I'm just trying to think.
It will be 6:30 a.m. your time.
6:30. Okay. And it's 6 90-minute weekly live sessions. Fantastic. Have you got, I'm going to stop sharing for now, but that link is in, if I can find myself. Here I am. Hello. So that link will be in the chat below. And now, why did it go to that? I want to show you. Tomaz, let's zoom in. So I will, my daughter's being a chatty Kathy right now. So when you join the course, are you going to have a little chat group? Are you going to have a little Telegram group or anything? Yeah.
So I have created a Telegram group, so we will have the possibility to really share the experiences, and it's going to be a journey. And some of them might have used some of the practices already, but I like to invite you to take it, go in with a neutral mind without expectations, because there might be one element. Let's look at it from the explanation that I have given. Maybe one element in the emotional body that sort of gets released. Let's take the example, you do a walking meditation, okay? So you go out, you do your walking meditation, you're consciously aware, and you feel that resistance to go there. If you feel a resistance, this is the gem. Just remember, and I think it was in your chat, JC, somebody posted, the greatest gift comes always wrapped up as the worst nightmare. So in a sense, where you feel resistance, just go there and don't be afraid to go there. And try not to have any preconceived ideas. Just briefly sharing an experience. When I started meditating ages ago, there was one moment, JC, where I had my very first unity experience. I was sitting in a chapel in Germany, in this little village, and I was sitting there meditating, and the bells started to ring, and I could feel the oneness with the sound and the vibration of the bells, and I could feel it vibrating through my entire body. It was an amazing experience, but my logical brain for weeks and weeks tried to recreate the experience. I was thinking, okay, maybe I have to go back at the same time. Maybe I sat at the wrong place in the church. Maybe I ate too much food before. So it's not going to work. And you keep saying again and again to your audiences, try not to have any preconceived ideas. Try to just go with the pace of yourself. And then it could be for somebody who has been astral traveling for a long time, somebody who may have been doing mantra meditation for ages. You do a walking meditation with that attitude, and that could be the tipping point for you to take you up on a notch. So it is when we try to put a label on it, when we try to have expectations, when sadly we hold things back, is our ego body that holds us back.
Absolutely. So we're basically stepping out of our own way. And listen, as a person who, like, I'm a professional artist, okay? So I'm actually, since I could hold a pen, I know how to draw, and yet I still have a lot to learn. So if there was a course available, if I was interviewing someone and they were an artist and they were going to teach us how to paint, I already know how to paint, but I'd seriously do the course, because you can always learn more from what, from a different perspective. And this is basically what you're saying here, is that, yes, we might have a lot of people who've done courses upon courses. They might be all up in their head with a lot of dogmatic understanding of these practices. But, that I think that, this is key for everybody. So did you want to do an interview? You want to do a meditation?
You read my mind, darling. Exactly.
I know.
I think it's time to go into a little bit of the practice. So
I want to try and let's see. How do I get you? I want to get you as the main person. Can I do that, or maybe not? Let's see. We've got that. Shrinkies. Nope. 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 We're just going to do this. So, all right, we'll do that. Not just sit back and mute myself.
I just want to apologize in advance for the sound quality. We had it all perfectly set up, but we are left. Actually, the internet is back then.
Yes, but do you want to risk it going out in the middle of the meditation?
No, we don't want to risk it. So let's do it.
Your audio is fine. It's actually good. On my end, I can hear you fine. Okay. And if I mute and shut my big old pie hole, then maybe we can do meditation.
Okay. So I would like to invite us to incorporate various aspects into this practice. We will work with a specific mudra. I give you another mudra. I'll explain in a minute. We work with our breath, and we work with a Sanskrit term. I'm not going to talk about the meaning of the Sanskrit term, because I wanted all of us to experience what it means. And then I will play a sound bath. So I will take us through a beautiful sound bath practice whilst we are working with the breath, whilst we hold the mudra and just dive in and see what happens. Okay, so one of the mudras that I like to use is to connect the divine feminine with the divine masculine and the inner child. It's a beautiful mudra, simple. You just link the index and thumb of your right with the index and thumb of the left, and then you connect all the other 3 fingers, and then place it in your lap. Oof. Ah, this always sets me off. Sorry. Oh my God. Okay. Oof. Take a deep breath.
Is this R-rated or is it? Oh,
Okay, where
God.
was I?
Okay,
All right.
I'll start again. It's going to set me off too. All right, here we go.
Okay, so just place your hands in your lap with this mudra, connecting the divine masculine with the divine feminine and the inner child. And I'd like us to breathe in on the count of 4. 4 counts to breathe in, hold our breath slowly, and breathe out for 6 counts. Breathe in for 4, hold for 2, breathe out for 6, just to settle into the meditation. Just keep relaxing, become aware of the chair you're sitting in, or if you're lying on the floor or lying on your back. It's good if you are able to do it sitting up, but there's no right way. Just do whatever you feel is best for you in the practice. As we do that, you will feel more and more connected to the stream of energy that gets redirected back into your bodies, your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic body, and it links again with your higher self, with your soul self. Okay, now we will switch the breath. It's a very simple breathing practice. We breathe in and we imagine the energy coming from the feet, if you have your feet on the floor, otherwise from the ground all the way up the back of your spine, and then we move it from the heart to the pineal gland to the area above our head. So it is something like this. We breathe in and we pull it up. So we breathe in to the heart, pineal gland, crown of our head, and then slowly we breathe out. And as we breathe out, we just visualize the sparkles of violet diamond flame of light just coming and basically bathing us in the experience. So I would like you to just go through that practice. Basically, again, breathe in, pull it up, imagine like you're sipping yourself up, heart, pineal, above your head, hold it briefly and slowly breathe out, and use the visualization to just clear your energy body, your emotional body, your mental body, your physical body. Like a bath of diamond, violet light that actually clears our field. And I'd like you to continue the practice holding the mudra if you can, and I will introduce the singing bowls. Sound is a very, very powerful way of connecting us to the higher realms, because sound is linked to the element of space. Sound travels through space. Our body is 99.99999% space. So by exposing ourselves to certain sounds, in particular singing bowls, are very powerful tools to lift us up. We use the breath, we hold the mudra, so we have layered the experience. So just keep doing it in your own time and enjoy the journey. Just listen to the silence for a few breaths. We go in a very brief, silent meditation, and I'd like us to use the following Sanskrit word. In this case, we use the word as a mantra, and the word that we will use is Agni. Agni. So imagine Agni. Agni. And let's repeat it loudly initially. Agni. Agni. And slowly fade out the sound. Agni. Agni. Let it become quieter, quieter, and quieter. Now I'd like you to start thinking the word Agni just as a faint idea in the back of your head. Hold your mudra and just go through the journey. You don't need to do anything. Allow the vibration to take its own course. When you realize your mind is wandering off, just come back to Agni, and we will meditate just for a few minutes in silence. And just let go of the mantra, let go of Agni. Come back to your breath. Observe how your chest rises as you breathe in, and how it lowers back down again as you breathe out. Just come back into your physical body. If you feel now, you can relax your hands, let go of the mudra, perhaps wiggle your toes a little, move your hands. And when you're ready, just slowly, ever so slowly, allow the eyes to open up effortlessly.
Wow, that was a cosmic experience.
Tell us about it, JC. I'm sure we're all keen to hear what you...
Well, there was one point, just as you began the singing bowls, I felt like I wasn't here, and I saw this image of a figure or a being in a lotus position, but I don't know how to explain this. They were bluish white, and but then I noticed that I couldn't tell if they were solid or if they were the background of two mountains. It was very strange. It was like this, I was seeing this cosmic scene of this figure floating, and the mountain behind them made the shape of who they were, but I couldn't tell if they were solid or if they were the background. It was kind of one of those things, and it was really like it just blew me out of the water. And there was these feelings every now and then of floating out and going back in, and floating out and going back in. And I can't begin to tell you, like all the images, there were random images, random thoughts, dirty thoughts sometimes. There's a few dirty thoughts in there. Yeah, and I was like, don't let this end, Thomas. Just a few dirty thoughts, but yeah, it was fantastic. I saw future visions. I saw very vivid things. And then every now and then there was this, I could feel my body, but then I was out again. It's that kind of feeling. Yeah.
I mean, the entire course is really very much about increasing awareness. And as we increase the awareness, we just naturally raise our frequency. And by raising the frequency, healing becomes a natural byproduct. There are so many different modalities. Yes, you can use counseling, you can use past life regressions and all of that, but we may not have access all the time to those modalities.
No.
And again, there's no right or wrong in this whole. I want to be very clear. There is no right nor wrong. Whatever resonates with you at a particular time. But the approach that I will take is to help us to go into a space where the body remembers what it is to function normally. Activate their own self-repair mechanism deep within us. And the body knows best if we allow it to happen.
And I noticed you did something which activates, is it the parasympathetic nervous system? So when you do a longer breath out, is that something because you did a shorter breath in, the longer breath out is the less stressed state. And also mouth breathing is something that people do that are very stressed out. They tend to go. That's a very stressed sort of person. So the normal, just these basic breathing practices in meditation is what tells the body to calm down, to repair, begin to self-repair. It's I think that this is a fundamental. Everybody's saying their body is tingling, their body knows best, they're relaxing, they loved it a lot. This is a fundamental course, I would say, that people should do. This is one of the fundamental things. And yes, and somebody just mentioned in the chat the shallow breathers. So you also are aware that if you're, because sometimes when you're telling me, I was like, oh shit, I'm not breathing properly. People forget how to breathe, right? Yes. This is another thing, Yes. Are you going to, now I know this isn't part of the course necessarily, but in your little Telegram chat, if somebody had a question to you to help them, would you sometimes incorporate some of your knowledge feedback with Ayurveda? For example, I met a beautiful lady the other day, Annette. I hope you're watching, because she loves you and she thinks you're great and she loves Ayurveda. And she told me something that I didn't even know. She said, you and I are both kapha. And she said that the kapha people should not be asleep during 6 a.m. and is it 6 a.m. and 10 a.m.? I didn't even know that. So we should be early risers. And these little tips and stuff, yeah? Is that right? Thomas? Oh no, he's frozen. Oh, just when we got to the good bits. Thomas is frozen again. There we are.
Back
again?
Back again, sorry.
We saw Dan's face. So it's a little bit moving about. But yeah, so these little things, the reason why I brought that up is because sometimes these little tips, that you might incorporate in some of your chats and being part of a community of people who are doing the course, I think that's a real draw card for me anyway. This is why I would do. There's so many people watching that I think that one of the reasons why you sign up, and please go to, now the only thing I put in the little banner at the bottom was Thomas's link tree, but if you care to open the YouTube description, and I'll also, after this uploads onto YouTube, we're going live now, but I will, after I finish, I will put all the links for Tomaz and where to sign up for this course, which I think is a fundamental thing for everybody to learn. Is there anything you want to add? Maybe we can do a little Q&A. Is there?
Yes, it would be lovely. See, JC, as you know, the more we engage with each other in the community, and you know it from your community because I've been, the more we engage, the richer the information will be, and the more we'll be able to share and to explore. And Ayurveda is such an ancient wisdom, but people often say they have got this preconceived idea, oh, I need to become Indian, I need to worship gods and gurus and God knows what. No, you don't need to.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Tomaz? We were doing this the other day.
My granny had no idea about Ayurveda, but yet she had the basics about how to eat food, how to use awareness in terms of preparation of food. And I will talk about that in the course. Awareness about how to eat your food, not just the preparation. So if we just really think about it, it's helping us to become really more in alignment with the rhythms of nature, because we lost it, or we have the tendency to lose it quite easily. And this is why I like about Ayurveda. And it's not just the physical aspect, because it is consciousness. The essence of who we are is consciousness. And by bringing consciousness back into our being, healing becomes a natural byproduct. We don't need to worry about the healing so much if we allow it to just unfold.
Fantastic. Let's see if we've got any questions in the chat. I'm going to have a look and see if there's anyone who has questions. There is a little bit of a delay, so when I ask, do you have any questions, that's going to take a bit of time. But is there, let's have a look and see. So it starts, can you just reiterate what date it starts? The 21st?
21st on Monday, yeah, which will be your 22nd morning.
Ah, yes. Okay. So just be aware of the time difference, please. Somebody, Julianne in the chat. How are you, Julianne? She's saying, tell me more about the kathas, please. Kathas? Is that what you're saying? Or kapha? Kapha or kapha? Kapha. Yeah.
Okay. So kapha, first of all, coming back to the elements, it's made of the element of water and earth. So it is basically that which gives us our physical structure. It is what I like to call the coat hanger of our body, like the structure of our bones, the height and all of that. And kapha, because it's mainly the element of water and earth, it has a tendency towards fluid retention.
Right. So my kapha is, so I am, in other words, it's a fat shit kapha, right? Kapha is fat shit.
I wouldn't say that.
It is. Yeah.
No, but kapha also is that which has got those warm, nurturing, caring energies. And kapha is that which, and important, kapha is that which, immunity. So good kapha means healthy immunity, healthy immune system, endurance, strength, and all of those aspects. So it always has got the plus.
It's always got the
minuses.
positive and the negative, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes, do we usually have both? So these are the doshas. That's what I meant to say. The dosha, right? The dosha.
Yeah.
Is that correct? So you've got kapha, pitta, and vata.
And vata, yes. Yes.
And pitta, so pitta is the more slender looking. Is that correct? Pitta?
Pitta is those who are quite muscly. There are those who go to the gym once, they pump themselves up and they look like Adonis and Greek
That's interesting, because
gods.
when I used to do like the weight, believe it or not, I used to do weight training, I would build muscle very quickly. So maybe I'm kapha pitta, yeah.
Definitely you are.
Combination. And I definitely have pitta. I have too much pitta inside because I have the early grey hair. Well, you know, I like my coffee and I like my chili. And that's a bit too much pitta, right? Yeah.
No, but there's, see, in Ayurveda is about knowing what to do then. So if you have your chili, have your coffee, for example, in Ayurveda.
Coconut water.
Exactly. or put a little bit cardamom in your coffee, which is a
I do
practice
put
that
cardamom.
you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do this in Lebanon. Sorry, why am I speaking like I'm Indian? I'm sorry, I'm offending all the Indians now, and so this okay. Sorry, Thomas. Okay. Somebody said pita bread.
Pita bread.
Somebody said pita bread. No, not pita bread. That's Lebanese. That's not.
Oh dear.
And there's but this is all very, very useful, and this is such an ancient wisdom, and it's been this is stuff that everybody's laughing. Sorry, it's been lost, but it's the fundamental things that even predate Chinese herbal medicine. Correct? The
Yes.
Vedic
Yes.
practices. Yeah.
And you know what?
I'm really, yeah.
Because it's based on the elements, I just sort of, it popped in my head and I need to share this. I just need to laugh about it. You know that, okay. Okay. You triggered it, JC. I don't know what you do. Anyway, there are different ways. If you have a partner, okay, and if you figure out what body type your partner is, you know exactly how to please him or her. Or
okay, can we have a word afterwards, Thomas?
Ideally, how to find satisfaction in that area. So, for example, Kaffas are very touchy people. So their natural sense is sense of touch. So by touching, you can calm them down. Pitas are very visual. They need to see beautiful underwear and nightgowns and all of that. That stimulates them. And Vata like to have something beautiful whispered in their ears. Oh, I love you. You're so sexy. That will turn on the Vatas. So everybody has a different turn on depending on their constitution. Why am I talking about this?
This is good. No, because we're all sexually frustrated after 2 years of this bullshit. Yes. So that's why in deep meditation, I'm imagining blowjobs. That was crazy. That was
You know what? Oh no. Okay. Anyway, let me just share this with you. Dan, a couple of weeks ago, he introduced, please no offense to people now. Please don't take any offense.
Nobody gets offended in my audience. They will love it.
Yeah, okay. So we tried to explore this vegan theme a little bit for a couple of days. And then we went into the coffee shop. And then he said, oh, I got you a beautiful coffee. And I got it with oat milk. I said, oh, this is really interesting.
I know this story. Yeah.
And then I had a sip of it. And I said to him, oh my gosh, this is like, oh my God, please, if you have children in the room, just close their ears. This is like having a blowjob with a condom on. It tastes like a... Sorry. Oh, God.
It is. Yes. No, don't do the oat milk. Go back to the... Oh,
Okay,
I love it.
fine.
No, this is
So
good because you know what? This is all part of the spirituality. You know, we've got to blow all of this stuff out. We've got to blow all of this stuff out of the water because this is the uptight thing about everybody saying, oh, you've got to meditate. You've got to have this guru, this facilitator, this teacher that has to be all pristine and perfect. And here you are, you're going, you know, we did a cleanse and it was a vegan thing. And you know what? It tastes like shit. So I'm not going to do that anymore. And now we're going to talk about blowjobs. So this is all good. This is all spiritual. Listen, Thomas, you came on my show. What do you think you're going to talk about? You're going to talk about this stuff. So,
I'm blushing.
Me too. I'm blushing a bit. But you know what? This is great. So, but this is the stuff that I was going to say is like you're doing this course for meditation, but in your chat, in the Telegram, and this community you're going to create, there's going to be these discussions and sharing of ideas. And this is how we start to open up all of these things that it will trigger this awakening in people, this spiritual awakening. One more thing I did want to ask about, somebody said, was about Awakening Alchemy. So what do you think is going to happen now after this course, this 6 weeks, 6 or 8 weeks,
Yeah.
maybe 6 weeks. So what sort of things will start to alchemize and change within people? What do you think will happen when they do this course?
Definitely, what I sense will happen is that their meditation practices will accelerate. Number one. What will happen is they will be able to deal with difficulties on stumbling blocks, because as we know, when we meditate, when we do these journeys, a lot of stuff comes to the surface. To be quite honest, the rubbish needs to clear, but how to deal with it. And what they get is a lot of practical tools that they can implement in their day-to-day life if they feel that they are stuck. Because even us, as we know, who have been meditating for ages, we ask each other's help. And for me, asking for help doesn't come naturally, but it is about finding ways of tools of helping us getting through difficult situations, and naturally it will increase our sensory perception. This is where I'm heading towards. So we are looking at increased state of awareness. We are looking about finding that peace and keeping that peace in the midst of all the storm, becoming the eye of the storm within a busy, changeable, stressful environment, and holding that center within us without forcing ourselves. There's no force. If we force, we have lost the battle already. I'm sorry to say that, but we're just going against the grain. It's about letting go. Surrendering is a big one. We will be able to surrender to the circumstances and develop abilities, develop our heart center, and we'll be able to work through the heart to connect to our higher self, rather than bringing the energies in, because bringing them in means outside of ourselves. But taking a journey within our heart, which makes us expand, makes us dive in and out at the same time by connecting to that universal energy. And this is what happens when we start clearing, when we start awakening alchemy. What does it mean? Alchemy means transformation. So a journey of inner transformation by alchemizing various elements, the element of the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic body, and bring it in alignment with your soul purpose, or closer in alignment with the soul purpose.
Wonderful. Somebody in the chat said the heart has more intelligence than the brain. Very true. How are you, Joanne? So lovely. Yeah, the heart is the key. This is somebody just asked in the chat, will they be recorded? So will the sessions in the course be recorded?
Yes, they will be recorded, and they are available on the platform that streams the course. Yes, for anybody to go in and utilize afterwards.
Let me try and find where I'm at. So this is the course. So the course, the link for the course is in the description below. I will also share it again in my Telegram group, and my admins will share it in Facebook again. So this starts Monday the 21st of February UK time in the evening. If you are on the other side of the world, like in Australia, New Zealand, it will start on the 22nd, very early in the morning on Tuesday, the 22nd of February. Okay, and obviously you will check your local times, and there will be emails and things like that that will notify people when they begin.
Yes.
Let me just jump back on. Let's get back on. So let's have a look if there's any other questions. What time did we start? So that's good. We've been going for a little bit. Will, of course, be recorded, repeated. I'm moving. I have no time right now, but I would definitely love to join.
Yes, it will be available to purchase or to tap into afterwards, but it won't be a live stream. And but there will be always the chat group where individual questions can be answered, even for those who join the course at a later stage.
Now, Mish Karen asks, has the Telegram chat for the course been set up yet?
Yes, it has.
Okay, and I can't remember if I've shared. I probably didn't share it, but if Dan, if he's there, we can. Oh no, he's not. He's. We could probably have a little. The name of it is Awakening Alchemy in Telegram.
Dan's just giving me in the background because we are stuck with the iPad. I can't use my phone.
Oh, that's
because
okay. Not a problem.
So I will send it to you after the conversation, the Telegram group, and then people can start to even ask me between now and Monday questions if they want to.
Fantastic. Well, we'll have you. I mean, you pop in and out of my Telegram group anyway, and you can always tell me the things, and I'll share it as a post in Telegram, and I'll make sure that everybody knows. So Laura Bastoni is going to join your course. That's great. Already joined. Let's see if there's other questions in here. Will it be a few hours each week? I think it's 1 hour. Is it 1 hour per 1 hour session per week? And then do you give people, like, obviously people go away and they'll practice this, or you recommend that they practice it daily, and then the little Telegram chat is everybody conferring and seeing what they're coming up with and things like that. And see if there's any other questions.
It's going to be 1 to 1.5 hours. So it's more than an hour. And of course, yes, the Telegram group is there. And I'm hoping that people will share their experiences, go away, practice, and that so much enriches any group when the experiences are being shared. And
It's very interesting that you started on the 22nd of February, my time, on 2022, very special date, a special portal date. So Joanne says, this sounds awesome, Tomaz. Thank you for your service, beautiful brother. That's Joanne Dunn. Thank you, Joanne, for being here.
Thank you, Joanne, for all your help throughout the last couple of months and the storms that we weathered.
I know. Tell me about it. This is Joanne.
What would we do without Joanne? Tell me. I don't know.
Seriously, she's the queen of energy. She's the queen of energy work. And let's see what else we've got. Any other questions, everybody? Remember, it's not the words of your intentions that manifest reality. It's the energy of the vibration of the intent that creates attraction. Absolutely right, Squirrel Sniper. Do you teach how to activate the light body in this particular course, Tomaz?
We use the breath. In fact, I didn't want to preempt it. The breath work that we did today will help activating the light body, and you probably have noticed it. Yes.
I saw it was like this bluish white light, and I'm like, is that me? Is that someone else? Is that me? What is it? It went. It's like it just activated.
Yes.
Wow. I wonder if anyone watched me with my eyes closed. Did I glow? Yeah, sorry.
What happened when you used the mantra, the word Agni? What did people experience? Because I didn't tell you the meaning of it.
To me, my brain went Agni, and then I heard in my head awakening.
Yes. So any other comments on the word before I share the little secret?
Let's have a look. Well, there's a 10-second delay. So let's see. What did you experience? If you can quickly type in the chat when you heard the word Agni. I thought of Agnes Kravitz from Bewitched. Protection, prayer. Hang on. For me, it was like looking through a bright window. Ooh, yeah. Zalmox is just right, Agni, and then fire next to it. I googled Agni. Oh, Linda.
Oh, that's good.
Said, I googled Agni. Agni, the fire. Somebody said fire. Well, I heard awakening. And like an activation. It felt like an activation.
That's the
and
fire.
I saw a union. That's what I saw. But I'll tell you about it afterwards. But I saw that. That's probably why I was thinking about sex the whole time, because I saw this. It was good sex. It was really good sex. It was like rubbing two sticks together, like that, right? And that's Agni.
That's fire, exactly.
It was like, yeah.
Yes.
More like yeah. Anyway, I won't do the action. Yeah, it's good.
You know, it's the essence of Tantra is to activate your sexual energy and to use it into your spiritual and to your higher self.
Yes,
And if we
yes.
are constipated down there, how
I'm
can
never,
we experience?
never constipated. I'm never constipated.
I think I'm quite alright in that department as well.
Me too. I'm you know, I'm cleaning out all the time. It's all good. All good down there. So yeah, that's true. So we've got the blocked energies, and that sort of indicates something else. A lot of people, or a few people, had asked about Kundalini and what does that mean? What does it mean? And how do we know we've activated that? And how do we know that that happens? And can it just happen spontaneously?
Yes. It can happen very much spontaneously. If you think about the Kundalini energy, and again, this is my humble way. I've done training in the field of yoga, but I can read there's so much of floral explanations about Kundalini energy. The way I see it is Kundalini energy is, in essence, activating the fire energy that actually alchemizes any experiences, any traumas in our body, and takes us on to higher states of consciousness. And it is known to sit at the base of the spine. Yeah, that is like, that's why it's represented as the snake and the snake energy that starts to come to surface. So it can happen, the awakening can happen just overnight or just unexpectedly, yes, but sometimes it can also take time for it to be released. Imagine if you all of a sudden take it the other way around. Your body will know when it's time to release what needs to be released. So again, it's good to have that intention of Kundalini awakening, and people talk so much about it. But I find it very hard because people who may not have that experience of full Kundalini awakening, they feel they are missing out. But let me just put that thought at peace. It could be just one thing. It could be just the 4-2-6 breath that just makes you shoot off like a rocket into the cosmos, and you overtake anybody who has been a Kundalini awakening for 50 whatever years. What I'm saying is, please don't feel bad if this is not happening. Just go and walk your talk, stay true to yourself, and tame the monster. Allow the mind not to take you onto a wild journey. Keep the mind, the ego self, in a pace that doesn't allow you to feel inferior or superior and all of that. You know, we are all on a journey. I haven't got my stuff sorted out. I'm going through hell of the stuff every single day. We all do. And that's the beauty, because we hold each other's hands. And this is what you do so beautifully, Joanne. And I feel very, very touched and humbled by it's just, there are no words. I love you dearly.
You should just call me Joanne. I feel like a jilted lover. Yes.
Did I call you Joanne?
You did. And you were thinking of Joanne.
Oh my God. Please forgive me.
You just called out another woman's name.
Please forgive me. It's because all the dragons sit in front of me. So maybe that's why they just talk.
No, that's okay. No, I agree. No, she is, yes. We we talk about all of this stuff. We talk about, we both talk about all of this stuff. And this is I'm just fed up with everybody wanting perfection in the spiritual world, and none of us are perfect at all. And this is why I show the flaws, and it's very important that we do this, because the more we get raw with all of this stuff, the more we're used to. For example, people are expecting in a meditative practice to have perfect thoughts go through their head, and they're judging their thoughts as they're floating in. And I should get this. Why didn't I see the person floating in space? I just saw a swirl of purple, and then I thought about my tax bill or whatever, right? And they're thinking they got it wrong. But that's all of this. We have to get used to this stuff coming up to the surface, the dark stuff and the uneasy feelings, and all of that is part of the alchemy, right? So very, very important to transcend all of this.
How can we expect change to occur, transformation to take place, if we don't allow the space for this transformation to happen? The space means going into a neutral territory without coloring, without preconceived ideas. So how can we expect to change if we keep pushing into the direction that we think it should go?
Absolutely. Somebody asked in the chat, does the scar tissue in my lower back block my Kundalini?
To be quite honest, no. I don't believe that. I don't believe, because we are talking energetically, we are talking energy bodies, and there might be an obstruction that might be leading towards compromising the circulation, you know? So that might be the case. But in a way, will it stop you from your personal growth? Will it stop you from experiencing higher states of awareness? Absolutely no. And if that is a bit of a concern, I just quickly share one of my videos on TikTok has gone viral because I was talking about frankincense. So when you say about scar tissue, get a good quality therapeutic grade frankincense oil, mix it a little bit with the carrier oil just to test that it doesn't cause any issues on the skin, and apply it on the scar tissue. So that will slowly heal the scar tissue. Anyway, slightly sidetracked, but just to throw that in because the question was around scar tissue.
No, that's fantastic. And that's another question I had even before we started, was talking about, will you be talking about in the course, I mean, it's only short sessions, but will you be talking about things like saging and different uses of oils or different fragrances that might be enhancing the process and practices, yeah?
I will, and also I will be sharing a technique which in Ayurveda is called marma therapy. Marma therapy can be compared to, well, you can't really compare, but it is similar to Chinese acupuncture. But marma points in Ayurveda are junction points between consciousness and physiology. And I will teach which points to use, where to apply essential oils on those points, and how to apply them to activate the various bodies, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and energetic bodies. So we will incorporate that into our meditation, daily, weekly practices that we do.
Wow, fantastic. That's brilliant. Somebody said, Karen Hughes in the chat from Scotland said, Eckhart Tolle had a Kundalini awakening. Well, we were just saying, Mark and I were saying this morning that you are like the next Eckhart Tolle.
Oh, I don't know about that. Thank you. But
yeah, well, I think you're better than him personally. I couldn't really look at the little gnome, but you know, I think you're better.
We have got our second thoughts about that, haven't we, JC?
Yeah.
I know what you talk about, but I feel very humble. Thank you very much. I'm just keep walking my talk as much as possible. Try to be true to myself and try to just be open, because I don't know. I just really don't know. I had no idea that I'm going to meet up with you. I had no idea. And, you know, we just keep walking 1 foot ahead of at a time. And whatever nature presents, if we resist, that persists. And sometimes, and especially with the session I did with Mark last night, it has totally pushed me out of my comfort zone. Because whatever, but it needed to happen for us to take the next step on in this process. So yeah.
Naughty girl just came back to go over there. Go. Okay.
Are there any more questions? In general,
Any more
any
questions,
questions around
everybody?
Ayurveda or the 3 constitutional types? They
Let's have a
actually
look.
manifest. They manifest also the way, for example, if you want to figure out if you are more a Vata, Pitta, or Kapha person, I invite you to go for a stroll in central London or wherever you are in a big city, and then you walk on the pavement and observe how you react when people walk in front of you. Okay, now listen to this. A Vata person they will change their minds quickly. They have a very big imagination. They are very creative. But Vata people, they may just sometimes sway to the right, sway to the left, and then they go straight, and then they just stop, and then they turn around. And if you are a Pitta person behind a Vata person, you can get very frustrated. Because Pitta knows exactly where to go and how to march, and sometimes they can be very anyway. So if you want to observe that, just go and look at how people walk. Kapha walks at the pace of a swan, beautifully gliding above the pavement, taking their own time without being drawn into the rush of a city life, for example. So what I'm saying is these doshas or principles manifest in many different ways. They manifest the way of how we make love. They manifest how we dress. That's another big one. In fact, I go through all of those aspects in my book, The Spiritual Health Matrix, in much greater detail. But I will be sharing those aspects whenever the questions come up and whenever people will ask questions. Yes.
That's fantastic. I had to mute that whole time as my daughter was saying hello to you, Thomas.
Hello, Ariana.
Okay, so let me have a look. Let's see if we've got any questions. I want to learn more about transfiguration. Do you know anything about that? It's a bit of a big question. Transfiguration? Not quite sure about that. Let's see if we've got any questions about dosha types or anything. If we've got... everybody's saying that you're so much better than Eckhart Tolle. I agree. Okay, somebody's asked, so would this help with my lymphedema? I'm wondering if she's asking about the scar, the frankincense and the scar tissue, or if she's talking about meditation in general. That's the health junkie. She's asked, would this help with lymphedema? I'm sure, Mark, you do consults as well, right? So you do other things, not just meditation, and you do have a whole range of holistic healing and consults. So don't forget that, everybody. Just 1 second. We'll have a look if there's any other questions in the chat. Sorry.
Just what sort of triggered it is, if you think about kapha and fluid retention, of course, being physically active is very important to move the lymph. But there's an Ayurvedic practice where we use gloves, raw silk gloves to brush our body. Dry body brushing before shower, for example, will help shift lymphatic congestion. And so that will be part of the self-care practice that we're going to
you sent me some silk gloves. And everybody, if I want to explain to everybody, but it's like a raw silk. It's like a woven raw silk, and it feels almost like a soft linen, I guess you could say. It almost
linen,
feels like
cotton
that.
Kind of feel, yeah.
Yeah, it's got a linen cotton feeling, and that's the traditional thing, rather than the really rough brushes. We spoke about this before, but rather than that, but that's a really, and it doesn't take much, does it? It's just a light sort of brushing over the body to get the lymph movement moving. I also jump on my rebounder, but still we've got to get that all moving but you'll explain a lot of these, I guess, in your chat more than the course itself, because the course has a specific sort of outcome and agenda there. dry body scrub before shower. Never heard of this. Interesting. Somebody said, yes, it is. It's very interesting, but it's an old, it's a very, very effective technique. If there's any other questions, so how long have we been on for? Have we been on for 2 hours? No, or an hour and a half.
Yes.
We've been on for an hour and a half.
An hour and a half. Okay, that's good then. Okay.
Yes,
I was getting a bit worried. You know what? I checked the energy for us on the Bovis chart.
Oh yes, tell.
And we started off with, hang on, I need to get my glasses. Sorry. That's called aging. Well, maybe if I keep meditating, that will improve even more. Anyway, we started off with 500,000 units on the Bovis scale. I haven't checked it. Would you like to check, JC?
Yes.
Where are we now as a collective?
Yes, let's do that. We're going up and up and up. I went into the billions on that Bovis chart. I had to make a new chart.
Wow. Let me just try. See.
Sorry for the radio silence, everybody. This is what happens when you're a single mother and you've got to run a show on the side. But this is all good. Somebody said, Ali Wonders says, can you ask him about Rh negative blood? Do they talk about anything like that with Vedic, with Ayurveda? They don't talk about these sorts of things. It's more types and what I love about Ayurveda. Yeah, sorry.
See, this is if you look at the core concept of Ayurveda is to do everything possible to improve your metabolism, metabolic activity, and to align yourself with your, I keep coming back to the same thing, I'm sorry, but it is just like that, just listening again back to your own body and what is required at a particular moment in time. I know there are all the blood group diets and this diet and that diet. I'm just saying, really take it easy and don't be afraid to change your diets. If it suits you for a while, if it doesn't suit you, there is no rights and wrong. In Ayurveda, the key magic word is BALANCE. Balance. It's a balanced life. It's not one or the other or more of this or less of that. It's balance that makes.
Absolutely. And that's what I love about this. There's no strict sort of thing. It's always about the balance and bringing, knowing that there is a variety of things for people and, that will work. And, it's not just one thing suits one person, it's not just one thing that suits everyone. So did you do I've got my pendulum here. I just haven't got my Bovis chart though, but did you do?
I have done it and we have gone off the chart, so I can't go beyond. So
I know, you know what I did? I ended up having to do an outer ring and put numbers on the outside because it was like, and doing and so I always confirm, are we over this chart? And it's a yes or no. And then we go, okay, so let's use the outer circle. So if anybody wants to know more about Bovis chart, BOVIS, that's been talked about in my previous videos with dowsing. I really need to do a dowsing course, I think, for people. I keep saying I want to do it, I just have no time. Anyway, imagine if I'm doing the course and then my daughter walks in, I'll be like, oh, here she comes back again. All right, so we need to, she's getting a bit scared. So let me get you to just quickly, if you can see the chat. One second. If you can quickly see the chat, because we're going
I can't see the chat on the, because I've switched the internet, but so Dan, do you have an ability to look at?
I might be able to. Give me a second.
Okay.
That's okay. What we'll do is, I'm just going to take her inside. So
yes, please. Yes.
But just talk a little bit more, just quickly to get people to look at your links, and then just let them know when you're starting and what they expect when they first sign up. And 1 minute.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. I mean, first of all, I like to say to everybody, I feel very grateful for you being here and listening to me rattling on. The course I have got, the beauty of this is when I've been approached by Mark a couple of weeks ago to work out the course, I was sitting down in meditation and I had every day different elements, components coming in, and basically that was building the structure of the course. So I know the structure, but the course will flow very organic at the same time, because I don't want to limit the experience for everybody who joins the course by me being in a very German sort of rigid mindset. I have written this down on a piece of paper and I need to basically share this, because that will stop me from flowing while we are in the course. So when you join us, it will be an organic process. I know what I'm going to talk about, but at the same time I don't want to be too anal about it. Excuse me. Sorry.
I'm back. It's all good.
And yes, so
No,
when
this
you
is
sign
great.
up,
Fantastic.
you get your confirmation email, and then we will just start the journey together. And if you can't link in live on Monday, you will have access to the recordings afterwards.
To the recordings. That's great. And I know that I think Monique is looking after the back end side. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's fantastic. Someone said, thank you, Thomas, you're an angel. He is. Honestly, this is a really brilliant course, and I'm sorry I had to keep going in and out. But you know what? This is the good thing about this is, see, we want to be comfortable and easygoing. And as you can see, Thomas is a wealth of knowledge, but not so strict and rigid. And you know, you're gonna have a laugh, and you're going to enjoy this process. And I think that everybody really, this is a very affordable course. And you've actually even said that this isn't even about money, that you would even that people join if they really can't afford it for a much lower price. But you know, this is worth investing in regardless of that. So everybody's saying thank you, Thomas, and please join on the link below and press enroll, and you will have access to a wonderful community of people who are going to awaken their inner alchemist, I suppose, and you're going to start a process of really doing bringing up a lot of things that will help clear you and help take charge of yourself, your health, your mental health, and things that they can take into the future, correct?
Yes, and please, if you are more interested into the Ayurvedic side, I keep forgetting this, but I'd like to invite you to maybe join my TikTok. There are so many different recipes that I join on TikTok, that I share on TikTok and Instagram. So Instagram is Mueller Thomas, the other way around, and TikTok is Tomaz Mueller, Tomaz.
That's all in my links. Yeah, that's all in
exactly.
my links, I believe.
So there are lots of tips about essential oils and daily practices. So quite a
And,
so just
I remember back when I had a cold or something last year, and you gave me this thing with the ingredients, and I shared. Everyone was going nuts for it to help prevent their cold symptoms and things like that. And it was just an Ayurvedic one that we did, and we boiled it up in the milk. And I remember doing that with the honey. Yeah, it was brilliant. So thank you so much. And everybody's saying, right, they're signing up. They're going to sign up. So join there, and you'll probably see a lot of the people from my chat, from Mark's chat, that you'll see people and start to join. And I know this for a fact, that when you all start helping each other out and talking about something and focusing, the growth is exponential. So thank you, everybody. And I love you all. And I would like to, any last words, Thomas?
Massive thank you to you, JC, for being a wonderful host and for allowing me to share and for allowing me really to be me. I feel very humbled and very grateful for what the universe has offered. And it's just for all of us just a start. We're just starting on exploring and living a 5D, living in the 5D world. And it's important that we also take some ancient practice like Ayurveda to a 5D level, which means move away from trying to use herbs and spices just purely on a physical level, but moving more onto an energetic level. And I strongly believe that there will come a time very, very soon where we stop swallowing pills, where we stop eating, having herbs, where we stop, not because we're going to all become breatharians, but just because we are working more on an energetic level. And this is where I feel, I'm hoping that I will help people on this course to shift to more understanding energies, understanding awareness and the role of awareness in health, rather than relying on a particular diet, relying on a particular meditation practice, a particular position of how I sit in meditation. We have to let all of that go.
I love it.
It's a painful process.
It is.
Because these are the crutches that we have been holding on to for the past, I mean, for me, for a few years.
A few decades. I love it. Everybody's loving it. Yes, please join Tomaz on TikTok. There's all these links are below, and it's in the link tree anyway. But you know, the wealth of knowledge there. I'm so grateful the day that I met you, and I still remember that. That was the live that I was doing where I was inviting audience members on, and I was kind of having this intuition of who to, you know, because I was adding 3 different people at once, all coming on at the same time, and it all seemed to work. And then I kept looking at your name, and I was like, I'm going to talk to him by himself. And there was a reason, and I just felt this instant past life thing with you, like, this is my brother. Jesus, haven't seen you since Atlantis. Where have you been? Bloody hell. You made the whole island sink.
Yes.
No, you didn't. Yeah, Kathleen in the chat said, I remember that too, JC. Yeah, it was great. It was brilliant. And I remember everyone was going on about you. That guy was great. Who is he? You got to get him back on. So this is wonderful. I'm just so grateful that I remember you, and there's people in the chat saying they remembered that live. It was beautiful, and I'm so glad finally you came back. God, it's been like 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, something like that. I think
it
the last
has
time
been
you were
a
on
while,
was,
yes.
I kept saying, you're going to come on my show? What's going on? But that's
Yes.
good. I'm glad you're back. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to end the broadcast, and Tomaz, I'll chat to you after, off air. Okay?
Okay. Take care.
Lots of love, everybody. Sign up. Look for the links below.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.